Everyone, I hope you all are fine and safe at your home with your family members. Today we will discuss about Kingdom Plantae and Kingdom Animalia. Kingdom Plantae is further you have to study in chapter 3 because I am teaching you chapter 2nd. In 3rd you have to study Kingdom Plantae in detail, and in chapter 4 again you have to study about Kingdom Animalia in detail. But in this chapter, in second one which is going on, you have to study about a brief introduction, that what are the features of Kingdom Plantae and Kingdom Animalia. So let us start this Kingdom Plantae. Kingdom Plantae is a very diverse group which includes all the plants present on the earth. It includes algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms, angiosperms. Means all the plants started from algae, microscopic algae, till all the angiosperm, which are very giant, the trees. All these plants are kept into this kingdom, that is Plantae. So Kingdom Plantae includes multicellular. It includes multicellular and eukaryotic organisms, and they are autotrophs in nature. All the multicellular plants. And the nature of cell is eukaryotic. And the mode of nutrition is autotrophic. Means this kingdom includes multicellular, eukaryotes and autotrophs. The plants ranges from algae. Some of the algae, they are microscopic in nature, still they are multicellular, like Eulothrix, Spirogyra. They are multicellular filamentous for some of the algae, like Chara. They are parenchymatous in nature, they are multicellular. They are multicellular, but we can see them with the help of microscope only, not by our naked eye. The bryophytes you can see in your surrounding. Rixia, Markinsia, Pilia, Porella, Anthoceras, Sphagnum. So many bryophytes. They are multicellular. Pteridophytes, you are aware with the ferns. All the kinds of the ferns, they are multicellular. Even we can see them by our naked eye also. Gymnosperm. In your school campus also, Cedrus plant. It's a gymnospermic plant. It is tree in shape. Pinus plant. And the angiospermic plant, you are aware with the angiospermic plant. It includes herbs, shrub, grasses. Means angiospermic plants mean all the flowering plants. So all the plants, they have been put into this kingdom Plantae, and they are multicellular in nature. And what is the nature of the cell? The cell is eukaryotic in nature. As you know, the eukaryotic cell is very advanced cell. All the cytoplasmic organelles are present. Nucleus is also well developed. You have to study about eukaryotic cell in cell chapter. I think it is included in chapter 8. So don't worry, I will teach you in detail about the eukaryotic cell. And the mode of nutrition is autotrophic. All the plants, they are which are included into the kingdom Plantae, they are autotrophs, as they can prepare their own food material by the process of photosynthesis. All the plants, whether it is algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperm, angiosperm, all the plants, they contain the photosynthetic pigments, and these pigments may be chlorophyll, phycocyanin, phycoerythrin, so many pigments they are present, and these pigments are mainly present in the chloroplast, or you can say in the plastids. Some of the plants, they are insectivorous. You have already studied in class 7th that about Utricularia, the insectivore bladderbird, sundew plant. So many plants, they are insectivorous plant. They feed the insect for to fulfill their nitrogenous requirement. Some of the plants, they are parasite also. There is a plant, angiosperm plant. The name of this plant is Cuscuta. Cuscuta is a parasitic plant which takes their food from the other plant. It is the stem parasite. So the plants, generally the plants, they are autotrophic, they are autotrophs, but still some of the plants, they are insectivorous plants. Some of the plants, they are even parasite also, like Cuscuta. They are non-motile. Mostly the plants, as you can see, the plants, they are unable to move from one place to the another place. They are non-motile, means the locomotion is absent. Reproduction ranges from, the reproduction is of different types. They can reproduce either by vegetative means, or by asexual method, or by sexual method. Mainly the lower plants like algae, they can reproduce by vegetative and asexual means. Sexual reproduction also takes place. In class 10, you have already studied about the Eulothrix and Spirogyra. These filamentous algae, they reproduce by vegetative means, by fragmentation. So many types of spores, they are produced in algae, like geospores, aplanospores. So many asexual spores are also formed. And the sexual reproduction also takes place, whether it is lower plants or higher plants. In lower plants like algae, the sexual reproduction may be isogamous, anisogamous, oogamous. And in the higher plants, you can see the plants, they reproduce by well-developed multicellular reproductive organs. You can take the example of the flowering plants. The flower is the reproductive organ, and the male reproductive organ, it is known as stamen, and the female reproductive organ, that is carpel. And both they produce the pollen grains and egg respectively, and when the male and female gametes both are fused together, they form zygote, and zygote later develops into the embryo, then embryo gives rise to the new plant. So plants, they reproduce by vegetative, asexual and sexual methods all. The angiospermic plants, they reproduce by the vegetative propagation, by cutting, layering, grafting. So all the kinds of reproduction takes place in the members which are included into the kingdom Plantae. Multicellular embryo are formed except algae. In all the plants except algae, which is very primitive, where embryo is not formed, the zygote, which is the product of the fusion of the male and female gametes, it can produce the new plant directly. But in other plants, the multicellular embryo is formed. When the zygote is produced, zygote further divides into the embryo, and embryo is multicellular. You can observe the seed of angiospermic plant. Seed is having the embryo having cotyledons, radicle, plumule. Radicle gives rise to the root system, plumule gives rise to the shoot system. So, in bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperm, as well as in flowering plants, that is angiosperms, multicellular embryo is found, present. Now, alternation of generation takes place. What do you mean by alternation of generation? Alternation, actually in all the plants, in the individual body, the plant has two stages. It comes in the alternate fashion, that is haploid and diploid stage. If the main plant is sporophytic, it is diploid, then definitely in their life cycle haploid stage also comes, but it comes for the shorter duration. Again the haploid, it becomes diploid, and this alternation of the haploid to the diploid and diploid to the haploid, this is called alternation of generation. For example, suppose the flowering plant, the angiospermic plant, mango, neem, rose, all these plants are angiospermic, or you can say the flowering plants. The main plant is sporophytic, means in the individual cell, the chromosomes, they are in the pair. So the plant is diploid in nature. The main plant is diploid. Diploid means sporophytic in nature. But at the time of sexual reproduction, the plant, they produce the pollen grains and egg, the gametes, and gametes are always haploid in nature. When the two dissimilar gametes are fused together, the gametes, they form zygote. Zygote, again it becomes what? Diploid, and zygote then gives rise to the embryo, then embryo gives rise to the new plant. So the main plant is sporophytic plant, and when they produce the gametes, the haploid stage also comes, but for the shorter duration, and again the diploid is restored in the zygote, then embryo. So first diploid, then haploid, again diploid, and this cycling, and or you can say this rotation, that is from diploid to the haploid and haploid to the diploid, this is called alternation of generation. I will teach you in detail in the third chapter about alternation of generation. But in all the plants, this process, alternation of generation, takes place, means haploid is followed by diploid, diploid again followed by haploid, and the rotation takes place. The kingdom Plantae, this is the flow chart, is divided further into the vascular and non-vascular plants. The vascular plants are the plants having the vascular system, that is xylem and phloem. All the vascular plants, they are having the transportation system to supply water and minerals from downwards to the upwards. They have phloem also to transport the food materials from leaves to other parts. So these are the vascular plants. The vascular plants, it includes like bryophyte, pteridophytes, gymnosperm, angiosperm, gymnosperms. All these plants are vascular plants. The vascular plants are also classified into two groups, seed bearing and spore bearing. The seed bearing includes angiosperm, flowering plants, and gymnosperm. And spore bearing containing here mainly the pteridophytes and gymnosperms. Bryophytes also. Bryophytes, pteridophytes and gymnosperm. Actually the bryophytes, The vascular strand is also found in some of the members of the bryophytes like mosses. Mosses is the advanced form of the bryophyte. From here, the vascular system is started. The non-vascular plant, where the vascular system is absent, because the plants, they are very primitive. The whole plant is submerged in the water, and they don't have the vascular system like xylem and phloem to transport the water and food respectively. So non-vascular, it consists of mainly algae. So these are about the kingdom Plantae. And the kingdom Plantae you have to study in chapter 3 in detail. Here just it was a brief introduction, the general characteristics of kingdom Plantae. Now kingdom Animalia. The kingdom Animalia, it includes multicellular, eukaryotes and heterotrophs, means all the animals, they have been kept, they are placed into the kingdom Animalia. You have to start from kingdom Porifera. They are multicellular and primitive organism. Then you will study about Coelenterata, Platyhelminthes, Escalanthes, Echinodermata, then chordates, again all the classes, species, reptiles, amphibians, mammals, all the animals, they have been placed into the kingdom Animalia, and they are multicellular. The nature of cell is eukaryotic, but the main difference from the kingdom Plantae, they are heterotrophs, means the animals, they do not prepare their own food, they take the food from outside. Ready-made food they take from outside, and that's why all the animals, they are heterotrophs. Cell wall is absent. Here the nature of cell is eukaryotic, and here also it is eukaryotic. But in class 8th, you have already studied about the structure of the cell, that the eukaryotic cell is further divided into the plant and animal cell. So plant cell don't have the plant cell has the cell wall, which is made up of cellulose, but animal cell don't have cell wall. It's very, very important that the cell wall is absent in the case of animals. Animal cell don't have the cell wall. The mode of nutrition is holozoic. All the animals, they take the food from outside, then they ingest, digest, the digested food is absorbed, then it is going to be utilized, that is called assimilation. So the mode of nutrition is mainly holozoic. We also perform what kind of nutrition? Holozoic. It is a type of heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Well-developed body organization in advanced form. Not in the primitive form, not in the Porifera, either Coelenterata, but when you will go up, especially into the chordates, in some of the lower animals also, invertebrates also, the body has so many systems. You can take the example of yourself. In human beings, we are having so many body systems, digestive system, for the process of digestion, respiratory system for respiration, circulatory system, means the body has all the kinds of the system to perform the special function. But all these systems, they are present not in the primitive form, they are present in advanced form. You will study about the individual phylum in chapter 4. Sensory and neuromotor mechanism is found in advanced form. In advanced group of the animals, the sensory means the nervous system is also found. The sensory organs are to be there. These sensory organs, they take the information from outside. Then they send the signal, the message to the brain. Then the coordination takes place. Again, the message comes to the effector organs. Means a well-developed coordination is to be there. The sensory motor mechanism is present, not in that primitive form, in advanced form. They are present. And most of them capable of locomotion, except few lower animals. All the higher animals, they have tendency to move from one place to another place. The body is not stationary. They are not fixed like the plants. Means animals, they can move from one place to the another place. And the advanced form as well as the primitive form also, they reproduce by the sexual reproduction. In some of the cases, asexual reproduction also takes place, like Hydra. It reproduces by budding also. But mostly the animals, they reproduce by sexual method. And in sexual method, they have well-developed genital organs, reproductive organs. And these reproductive organs, they produce the gametes. Then gametes fuse together to form zygote. Then embryo is formed, multicellular embryo, which gives rise to the young ones. Embryonic development takes place. I will teach you in detail in class 12th also that how the zygote develops into the embryo, then how embryo, it forms the fetus, the young ones. So the whole embryonic development you have to study in detail in class 12th. So that's all from Kingdom Animalia. In this chapter, simply these characteristics are important, that you have to learn 6 to 7 characteristics of Kingdom Plantae, 6 to 7 characteristics of the Kingdom Animalia. And in the next chapter, again I will teach you in detail about the classification of Kingdom Plantae. And then in 4th chapter, you have to study about different phylums of Kingdom Animalia. Please note down some of the questions for today. Please note down. Question number 1. Write the mode of nutrition. Write the mode of nutrition in plants and animals. Write the mode of nutrition in plants and animals. Second, what is holozoic mode of nutrition? What is holozoic mode of nutrition? Explain. Question number 3. Write the component of cell wall. Write the component of cell wall in plant cell. Write the component of cell wall in plant cell. Next, write any 5 characters of Kingdom Plantae. Write any 5 characters of Kingdom Plantae. And the last question, write the general characteristics of Kingdom Animalia, any 5. Write the general characteristics of Kingdom Animalia. So that's all for today. Tomorrow I will teach you the next topic. Thanks.